The future of handheld gaming, the ASUS ROG Ally, is here with us, and boy, it floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. It is really an awesome addition to the handheld gaming consoles, which really takes it up a level with outstanding performance and ergonomics. So is it better than other devices and worth buying? Let's find this out in this video. Let's quickly take a look at the general specifications of this device. It packs a powerful punch with AMD Ryzen Z1 APU, which has 8 cores and 16 threads, which is based on 4nm process, 22MB cache, 4.9 GHz boost, and has a GPU built inside the CPU, that is the AMD Radeon RDNA 3. It has a total system RAM of 16GB LPDDR5, which means it cannot be upgraded. It has a clock speed of 6400 MHz, which is really impressive for this device, as most 2023 full-fledged gaming laptops do not come with 5200 MHz RAM, let alone 6400 MHz. And this much power helps in performance, and that delivers, which I will show you in the performance section, so stay tuned. It has a maximum TDP of 40 watts and comes with 512GB Gen 4 SSD with a form factor of 2230, which is smaller than generally used 2280 form factor. So the read and write speeds are lower comparatively, but excellent in itself. There is a general misconception about VRAM of this device, which says it comes with 4GB of VRAM. Well, it's important to understand that it is an APU, which in simple words is a CPU that has both CPU and GPU capabilities. And since the CPU only uses system RAM, the GPU will also use the system RAM in this case. So there is no extra VRAM. The system RAM is used as VRAM, and this can be seen in ASUS software, where we can adjust the VRAM according to our needs, which means increase in VRAM will decrease the system RAM. So basically it's a shared RAM and not a separate VRAM. Now let's talk about the build and the design of this device. It comes in all plastic build, which feels really good and sturdy. It has dimensions of 80 by 111 by 21.2 mm and weighs around 620 grams, which feels really light to hold as the weight is evenly distributed. It has a lot of ASUS branding all over. It has RGB lit analog sticks. It has this reflective strip on the back, which gives an RGB feel. It has these buttons that actually uses Xbox controller layout with left analog stick on the top and these Xbox controller denotations on the buttons. It has these 2 additional buttons on the bottom, which can be programmed to used as per user comfort. The buttons feel good to use and are soft enough for a smooth gameplay. Its design language is really great, allowing for the hand to grip it nicely, and the fingers also rest very comfortably on the buttons, all of which allows user to hold this device for long durations without feeling fatigue in hands. Despite it being a small portable device, it has 2 fan cooling systems, and it has these 2 exhaust vents on the top side and these air intake vents on the bottom, which provide ample air circulation to maintain the thermals pretty well, which I will show you in the performance section as well. One great thing about its design is that none of the vents come anywhere near the hand, and this is why even when the device is heated up, it feels quite cool and comfortable to hold. Also, the fans don't make much noise even when gaming hard, which makes it great for using in public areas. It has very thick bezels on the sides, which is a great letdown. It feels like a cheap knockoff product that is available for less price. ASUS kind of dropped the ball there. It has 2 front-firing speakers of 1 watt each, which sounds good for a device this size and has good loudness and a minor bass to it. It has a support of Dolby Atmos, which along with the placement of speakers give a good immersive sound experience. Here is how it sounds.
No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands.
Now let's take a look at the display of this device. It has a 7-inch touchscreen IPS panel with native resolution of 1920 by 1080. It has an aspect ratio of 16 by 9 and has a glossy screen, but it doesn't feel too glary. It has a color gamut of 100% sRGB, so the immersive experience of this display is gonna be just nice. It has a peak brightness of 500 nits, which is really good for indoors but average for outdoors, and I found it less comfortable to play games outside in daylight because of not too great brightness and a glary screen. It has a good screen response time of 7 milliseconds to avoid screen ghosting and has support of AMD FreeSync for a tear-free gaming experience. It has a 10-point multi-touch support, which means that you can register up to 10 touches at the same time on this device without it ghosting. 10 touches for 10 fingers. Pretty cool. But I do wonder in what scenario we will use all 10 fingers on this device. If anyone has any ideas, please let us know in the comment section. Since this device is handheld, it comes with the protection of Gorilla Glass Victus, which can sustain a decent amount of falls without breaking. But again, for obvious reasons, I did not test it, so take that with a grain of salt. Now let's see what special features it has to offer. It is a Windows 11 based device, which is really awesome considering the amount of freedom one gets with Windows. It has a support of AMD's RSR and RSL. It has gyro support, which helps to play games whose gameplay requires moving the device. It has no webcam. It has good haptic feedback system, which gives an immersive experience, but not as great as PS5. I would say it is above average. It has a 40 watt hour battery, which is amazing considering that there are some gaming laptops with the battery of this size, and thus it gives a whopping 6.5 hours of video playback and 2.5 hours of gaming at low TDP and 1.5 hour of gaming at high TDP. It comes with a 65 watt hours USB Type-C charger and can also be charged with a 60 watt power bank. It has Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.1 for that seamless connectivity. Now let's see the buttons and ports of this device, as it is a Windows based device and we want ports for it. First, talking about the general buttons, it has a volume control button and a power button on the top, which also doubles as fingerprint scanner to unlock the device. All the ports also lie on the back side, which include one audio mic combo jack, one micro SD card reader with UHS 2 support, which makes transfer speeds blazing fast. It has ROG XT mobile interface, which allows it to mount an external GPU with it to help it boost its performance drastically. One USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, which supports display output, and its display comes from the iGPU obviously, and it gives an output up to 4K 60Hz. Ports wise, I would definitely say that I am disappointed, as this device supports playing games with keyboard and mouse if need be, but they did not give any ports to support it. I mean, what about if one wants to charge the device and use an external storage at the same time? So a good Type-C hub is a must to buy with this device. It comes with ASUS's Armoury Crate and My ASUS software, which can be opened with these shortcut keys. They help to manage the device's many features and performance. It has options like thermal profiles, performance modes, performance tweaking options, system stats, GPU bandwidth selector, which can be used to assign VRAM to be used by the APU, operation modes, which helps us to control device like a mouse on a desktop or only with a controller, update center, which can be used to update all of device's software in one place, and pre-installed game platforms like Steam and Epic Games. Now let's take a look at the performance benchmarks of ASUS ROG Ally. Starting from Cinebench R23, it scored 14,215 in multi-core and 1,805 in single-core performance. Geekbench scored 10,894 in multi-core and 2,495 in single-core. PC Mark 10 gave 6,815, and 3D Mark TimeSpy scored 9,094 CPU, 2,865 GPU, and 3,210 overall score. These scores are just outstanding, which match up to modern day i5 12th gen CPUs. It is indeed powerful enough to handle tasks like medium level gaming, coding, creative workload, editing up to 1080p smoothly, and 4K level editing with a bit of hiccups. It is however not suitable for streaming, 3D modeling, or machine learning because it does not have an external GPU. However, these tasks can be done using an external GPU smoothly. Now let's see the gaming benchmarks of this. All the games were tested at 1080p resolution with recommended preset, FSR set to balance wherever there was an option, and ray tracing was set off. Keep in mind that this has a 7-inch screen, so one should not really bother tuning up the settings to a high level or even returning on ray tracing, as it has a small screen and high settings and high resolution won't actually matter much if you're playing on this screen. As you can see, the ASUS ROG Ally held its own in all these heavy titles, giving playable FPS in all the games. Keep in mind that all the games can get better FPS with settings tuned down a little bit. The temps were also well managed without a single instance of thermal throttling, showcasing its excellent heat management. Talking about the price of this console is priced at 70,000, which places it in direct competition with Steam Deck. It is also available at Creative Laptop Store Ludhiana, who gave me the opportunity to use this console. Contact them for the best deal on this console. One question that comes to mind is that in 70,000 one can get a decent gaming laptop which will outperform this device. Well, yes, absolutely. But the main feature of this device is handheld gaming, which in terms of portability is way better than any laptop. I mean, this can be used to play anywhere without needing to open a laptop or setting up a laptop. It can be used while standing, while walking, and is even easier to carry than a laptop. And this device can be used as a mini PC by connecting it to a monitor and using external keyboard and mouse. The possibilities of this device are endless, due to which I feel that it is not overshadowed by any gaming laptop in this price range, as it has its own benefits. In conclusion, I would like to say that this is absolutely a great device for portable gaming. It really goes toe to toe with handheld consoles and give them a run for their money. I would actually go as far as to say that in aspects like ergonomics, heat management, user interface, it is actually better than other handheld consoles. The only downside to it is the screen's bezels. Rest, it is a versatile Windows-based console which can fulfill all user needs, be it gaming, creativity, productivity, and much more. I would definitely recommend buying this unit. If you liked the review, please like the video, dislike if you didn't, tell me about it in the comment section, and consider subscribing for more videos like this.